Buenas and good morning. Welcome to Kandit News. I'm Johnnie Rosario.
I'm Torres.
It is Wednesday, July 26th on this lovely, lovely, lovely.
It is lovely. I love the rain.
Day.
I'm all about the rain, and that whole stretch of sunshine from May, what was it, 26 to May, or to
The
like
heat.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
The heat. Oh no, we're not ready for the leaderboard yet, Zach.
I'm sorry.
To just like 2 days ago. Sucked. It sucks for fat boys like me.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, at the pool yesterday, it starts storming, and
Did you do the
everybody's
Chamorro thing?
loving it. And the only people who are trying to run from the rain are us Chamorros.
Because you're gonna get wet
Yeah.
from the rain.
So
No,
I text my boyfriend like, man, I don't want to drive in this weather. Hoping I was being a brat. He would say, oh, let me come pick you up. No, you know what I got? You should have left before it started to rain.
And there's the Chamorro.
Yes,
There's the Chamorro.
yes.
When we come back, we'll talk about the new start of the school year. An issue that started as I don't want to say a turf war, but a disagreement between the state archaeologist and Governor Carl Gutierrez from Guam Visitors Bureau. Guess who won?
I wouldn't fight with Carl. You know what? Carl won.
It seems like he's winning. And it has nothing to do, it has very little to do with what the disagreement was about, and everything to do with the resolution of something that residents and businesses have been complaining about for a long
years.
time now.
Yeah.
That is, if
The flooding?
if Carl Gutierrez wins this, no, not flooding, archaeological digging,
Oh, okay.
and who bears the cost. This will save residents and businesses thousands to tens of thousands, up to hundreds of thousands of dollars per project.
Except GTA, let them pay.
We also have some crime reports. We still don't have mugshots from the Department of Corrections because when Major Anton Uggan is on vacation, apparently
Everybody's
the Department
on
of Corrections
vacation.
doesn't operate efficiently. And also, we have some death announcements from both Guam and the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and we'll go at the end of the show to a hearing that's happening right now in the CNMI Senate. So stick with us for all of the news this morning when we come back from this break. Welcome back. On the 76 leaderboard today, I thought we should discuss this a little bit.
Okay.
It's an interesting one.
Okay, go for it.
We chase those who run from us and run from those who chase us. Now, I know some people who are like, who
It's the thrill.
is it? It's the thrill of
when something's easy, something's given to you and it's easy, it's not as interesting.
Yeah.
You know?
I
you know when
I
they
get
say,
it.
oh, I don't want, it's just too easy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I get it. But I'm telling you, the only thing I've ever really chased in my life is the discount menu at the restaurant. Like, look at me, all right? I'm not running after anyone. I'm not running after anything. On the treadmill, I don't even run. I just do a brisk little walk.
Yeah,
Like,
well, you know, there's Yeah. Yeah, I don't really chase.
I chase after Christ now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't really chase. Oh,
I don't
goodness.
chase.
I know what that's about.
It is what it is.
Chase me.
But I'm telling you, those squats, the elevated squats, makes you walk better in high heels. I'll tell you that.
All right. Our first story is about the start of the school year. The Guam Department of Education put out a short news release this morning announcing that the start of the school year has moved from, I believe it was August 9
to August 23.
It's now August 23. But for teachers, they have to report
August
to
4th.
August 4th. I don't know how that works with the
How are they
union and all that stuff. I'm sure there's some intricacies there.
Yeah. You know. So I wanted to find out about my own my daughter, right? And I was a little bit taken back about some of the information I heard, but it's not confirmed, and that is why I'm not going to say it on the air.
Mm-hmm.
But I was a little bit upset. But then driving to work, I had to remind myself that they're really trying to get it together. You know,
They have very limited options.
not limited money.
Not limited money, you're right. Just limited options, and how do you even put this? Because you cannot say that it's not their fault. Mm-hmm. You can't. And you can't say that it's entirely their fault either. I'm talking about Guam Department of Education. The entire political establishment has brought us to where we are today.
Correct. So all
For years.
those senators that were standing in the legislative hall saying, blaming the governor and blaming especially the ones that have been senators before. We're only here because of you guys.
All of them. It's the legislatures of the past.
Yeah.
It's the governor of the current governor, the previous governor, the governor before him, the governor before him.
Yeah.
I mean, let's call a spade a spade. I like some of these people, but
yeah, but then when people like people who are fighters of the people, they get pushed down.
Yeah.
You know, pushed down. Their families get attacked. So this is all caused by all of our elected leaders.
Yeah, and so it's going to cost parents, teachers, students over the next school year. But maybe a sigh of relief that school is not starting on August 9 for some, for other parents, and for teachers. Probably like this is a great inconvenience because of plans that have already been made. Or it's not easy to reconfigure your life when you've already had an expectation, right? And then there's the whole issue of busing. And will there be double sessions? How does all of that work? How does it work with your work schedule? Mm-hmm. If you are working, does this mean that your husband will have to not take that part-time job, or your wife will have to quit work so that you're able to accommodate this fiasco of the government of Guam?
Yeah.
And it also makes me wonder, because I understand the private schools, especially the Catholic schools, are having a hard time financially, all things considered, right? They're going to start school on time, as far as I know. Mm-hmm. Even though they have these problems, our schools don't have, our government doesn't have a financial problem, supposedly. $200-some million sitting in a bank, right?
Of course the Catholic schools are going to start on time. There's stakeholders. There's people that pay money into their school. And
there's accountability, right?
Yes.
And it's something that's lacking here.
Yes.
It's like, we can have all of this money in the world, and we're going to spend all the money that we can. We're not even going to care how we do it sometimes.
If the kids open on time, or if the kids have a safe place to go. Yeah.
Because no one's holding us accountable for anything. And when it comes to the next election, we're just going to win anyway, because everyone's going to forget about it. It's only July of 2023. The election is more than 1 year away.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's how the cookie crumbles. Moving on, Governor Carl Gutierrez over at GVB, in the reconstruction of the island and the reconstruction of Tumon, basically, not reconstruction, but the rehabilitation of Tumon following Typhoon Mawar. One of the things that needed to be fixed was a shower over at Epal Beach Park, Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park.
Okay.
And so they had to do some, a little bit of construction work. And so GVB went over to Department of Public Works.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, can we have a permit? And Linda Ibanez, the deputy director there, said, yeah, you don't need one. You don't need to get any clearances for this. It's just It's a shower stall thing, and there was already concrete there.
No, because even
right?
me when I was doing reconstruction at my house, anything above $25,000 and or a certain percentage of square feet of your house, you need a permit.
Okay.
If not, you don't.
This was just a shower. You know those little showers on the beach, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The one where you're all
he's right.
frittata in the afternoon at the beach, where you have sand.
Yes.
You have sand in places where the sand shouldn't be because you were doing things you shouldn't have done in a public area. That shower.
Yeah.
And so GVB, you know, like Carl Gutierrez, the guy's gonna get the work done.
Yeah.
He's.
It's probably just the knob.
Frankly, I'm surprised he went to DPW to ask permission.
I know.
But he did. And the AG's office has found that he did in their investigation. And it's under investigation. It was under investigation, or is under investigation, because the state archaeologist allegedly went up to. It's not allegedly. He did. It's in black and white here from the AG's office. He went up to the contractor and told them to stop their work and allegedly threatened them.
Harassed them.
Didn't cite
allegedly.
any Guam laws.
Yeah.
And had construction stop. And so Carl Gutierrez of course, he wasn't going to have that. He was pissed. He wrote to the AG. He said, "Hey, how can one government of Guam person, even if he's a state archaeologist, just stop something?"
Is he picketing? Did he sleep at the shower? He probably did.
No, but I think the use of threats, right, allegedly would stop a contractor.
Yeah.
And so Carl Gutierrez said, you know, every day that this doesn't get done, you know, we lose money. We lose money. We're paying this contractor to do what? And so he writes that to the AG. The AG comes back and says, yeah, Governor Gutierrez, you're right. And by the way, State Historic Preservation Officer and Acting Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, counsel your boy and tell him that he doesn't have the right to just yank things, that there are due process rights that people have. And so this one incident over a shower at a beach park opens the floodgates, because the AG is now saying, stop it, state archaeologists, to something that the state archaeologist has been known to do over the past several years. And it opens the doors for the SHPO, the State Historic Preservation Office, to be challenged on its rule, which I don't know if it's written down anywhere. It might be one of those GovGuam things, right, where you just sort of make things up as you go along, and it's not in any rules that were promulgated with a process, with due process. It opens the door for that SHPO rule that you have to pay for your own archaeological digs to just go away, and that will save people a lot of money. If the government of Guam is the one that now has to pick up the bill for these digs that the government of Guam is requiring people to do.
Okay, but then it falls back on the taxpayer. Troy.
Sure. Yeah, it gets spread out.
Yeah. So what I like about this is that the AG is saying, I know you work. I know you work for the government, but I'm not going to back you up.
I love it.
That's what I like about this, because this tells me that these officers, these Guam police officers that show off their badge and act PUFF, you know.
You wanted to spell that one out?
Yeah. That this man right here is not
messing around. And he said so. He said so specifically about police corruption and bad cops. He says, you know, he's not going to back them up if they're breaking the law. He's not going to back up anyone who's breaking the law.
Well, thank God Joey Uggan left this island. He left the police force and left this island.
Well, there you go. When we come back, we'll talk about crime. This segment brought to you by 76 Circle K. We love their coffee, supercharged in the morning. Shout out to Adaloop 76, where we got our coffee this morning.
Oh, shout out. Wait, I have to say this. Shout out to 76.
Which one?
Across from Barragata to Anigua to Petey, the one inside the port.
Okay.
Because for 2 days, we looked everywhere for Biscuitsu, the one in the white. Okay, and no store, not usually the good stores that have stuff, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. And so I find them. I had to buy one at a time instead of the whole can.
Okay.
The one that has the crab in the front, the
Yeah.
white.
I
And
love that.
I bought it out. I bought all. I went. I drove.
I didn't even know they had
I found
that.
it, and I drove, and I bought them all out. Thank you, 76.
Was it for your sisters?
Yes.
Aw.
Yeah.
Now your sister has Biscuitsu in New
Yes,
Jersey.
yes.
I love it so much. Stick with us. We'll come back with the crime report after this.
I feel that this environment is for anybody that wants to try something new, whether it is CrossFit or powerlifting. We offer a safe space for someone who's never been athletically inclined to try something that they've never done before.
And welcome back.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back with our fat show.
So I did not get a what are those things called? The
Acai
acai
bowl.
bowls
It's
from
cold.
Windrose because it's cold. And me, my bones hurt when it's cold. So
Because she's skinny.
I'm not.
I'm not
guys.
skinny. I'm not wearing this sweater because I'm cold. I'm wearing it to hide the rolls. Because I ain't chasing anyone. This is a turkey cheese and egg croissant from Winchell's. It's my new favorite thing. It's replaced the prime rib sandwich.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Kainoa Timothy Kitachai. So guilt has kicked in right now because this guy was sitting outside of a store and a delivery truck pulls up. The delivery truck gets down.
The truck driver gets down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goes into the store to make his delivery. Someone from the laundromat comes out and tells the driver that this guy right here took a case of milk.
Oh, man.
And so when the driver looked at the guy, he saw him drinking one already and took it back. Now, what happens after this? Yes, the guy deserves to get arrested for.
So this story is all part of the same magistrate?
Yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
it just so happens when the driver of the truck takes the milk back, and even the milk that the guy is drinking, the guy brandishes the knife. The cops don't find the knife on him, but he does give the cops a run for their money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it say whether he's homeless or?
It doesn't say. But he does have priors,
Okay.
and that's how I got this Magis. Because we didn't have any new ones, new
Yeah.
Magis.
Yeah.
So
This was at the MTM laundromat. Which one is that one?
the laundromat
Is
is
that the
right
Steve
here.
Sun one?
No.
It's the one next. It's the one on the small
Oh,
route.
MTM. Yes, MTM is that one, right?
The Steven Sun laundromat, the 24-hour one.
Yeah, the one you like to go to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
So he did admit to having the knife, but they couldn't find it. And then he ended up punching an officer in the face, causing
Oh.
her pain. And then
Man, he should have stopped at the
I
stealing
know.
milk thing.
I know.
Probably would have gotten charged
Yeah,
if
I
that
would
was
have.
the case.
You know, I feel bad for the guy. He probably was hungry, but he shouldn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Allegedly. He is being charged with burglary to a motor vehicle, assault on a peace officer, resisting arrest, theft, and assault. Next one up is, we do not have a picture, and I was going to tease our friend Jesse Mendiola.
Donnie was gonna
Yeah,
put up Jesse
yeah.
Mendiola's mugshot.
Just to tease
Because he
him,
has the
and
same
he
name.
would have found it. You know, he wouldn't have sued us. You know, but
Same name.
so this person, Jesse Borja Mendiola, he violated a court order. Right? This is the one.
No, that's Terry Manu.
Oh,
this
that's
one's
her.
family violence.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
I take it back, guys.
I don't see whether there's a prior in this one.
Yeah. June 17, officers were dispatched to a residence. The victim told officers that Jesse Mendiola had slapped her with an open palm to the left side of her face. The victim elaborated and said the defendant grabbed her by the shirt and whacked her before leaving. They didn't catch him until July 23rd, when he was located at the same residence and arrested. The defendant told officers that he did not recall striking the victim because he blanked out, but remembers that the victim was holding her mouth and her lip was bleeding. Based on the foregoing, there is probable cause to charge Jesse Borja Mendiola with family violence.
When it's family violence as a misdemeanor, do you know how long? Is that like a 1-year sentence at the most or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think this should be a felony, like being smacked in the face, especially
I wonder why
if the
it's a misdemeanor.
perpetrator is your family. You know,
If that's
like
the
that
case,
makes
yeah.
it worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. They need to change. Our senators need to jump on this because
Our senators are concentrating on a lot of
So,
things
one
that are
time-
just repairing crisis. That's all
I
it
know
is.
this is not funny, but a lady slapped her husband. This is years ago, and so I'm like, oh my God, she just slapped him, and then my kids' dad's like, oh, if I said they put her in jail, she's in jail. He's like, you would have gotten the death penalty. So, you know, that was before, guys, before, not now. Okay, Terry Manu, we have this picture. Let me just state again, this is an old picture.
I think Alicia knows him.
Alicia, there's your boyfriend.
Alicia Kanatsu, our friend. I think that's her friend.
So this guy was charged with violating a court order. He is not supposed to be around the victim. He showed up at her house, bothering her, and she called the cops right away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they came. She
So the
showed
justice
them.
system works.
Yeah, so she showed the protective order, and they removed him and arrested
Oh
him.
boy, the judge who signed the protective order was Judge Barcinas.
Yeah,
Oh, this guy's going to
you're
jail.
done, buddy.
That's the wrong judge
So,
to violate an order
yeah.
on.
So he is being charged with 2 counts of violation of a court order, and he has 3. Wait, no, he has only one prior.
This is the local magistrates, right?
Yes.
I completely forgot to load up the federal case. There's a new criminal case,
Dominic
number 15,
Cruz.
Dominic Cruz.
Yeah.
And it was
Doesn't
sealed
have
up.
any. It doesn't. It just.
There are no details.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was.
But it's not intent to deliver or distribute.
It's possession.
It's actual intent. It's actually delivery of.
delivery. Okay.
So I think someone.
So he was indicted on July 15. It was sealed.
17.
17. It was sealed, and then he pled out
On the 19th.
I
right?
thought the 23rd.
It got unsealed.
It was unsealed on the 23rd. He pled out on the 19th, and it's the shortest plea agreement I've ever
seen in my life.
4 pages.
Also, Frank Calvo was unsealed.
What was that for? Franklin Calvo.
Franklin Calvo. It just says he was receiving his dope in January of 2022 from a MN.
MN.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll guess it later.
No, you know
Have
who
you already
that
guessed
is.
it?
Yeah. Melvin Apathy.
Oh, okay. Yes, that's right. Those cases are kind of connected.
That case was unsealed, and it's not case number 2 on the docket. So it's someone else. Remember, 1 is Melvin.
Yes.
2 is sealed.
Okay.
3 and 4 is Jacob and the girlfriend.
Okay.
Remember? So
You're talking about Jacob Manabusan and Jacob Manabusan's girlfriend. Okay.
So the second one is sealed still.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought it would have been Franklin Calvo, but
What number is Franklin Calvo?
He's from the year before, 2022.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's all
yes,
coming
that's
together.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at some point, all the feds will unseal things and the pieces will all come together. And watching the federal docket is way more interesting than local court.
It is, but it's so refreshing.
Something new. It's something get unsealed. Check forfeiture.gov.
And then you find one, and then you open that, and then you find another one, and then you just get lost in the hole.
It's like, feds, can you just put a press release together and lay it out for us? What's going on here? What is happening here? When we come back, we'll tell you about a couple of deaths on Guam and the Sinai, a public hearing that Senator Jesse Lujan will be leading regarding Agent Orange, and we'll go over to the Senate hearing in the Sinai.
Bottom line is we're gonna make you a better person. You're gonna be healthier and fitter than you were before.
Welcome back to our third segment. I forgot to mention, our previous segment was brought to you by Winchell's, obviously.
Can we get some milk with this?
You want to ask Timothy Kidachai. They took the milk from him. Ask the Dickerson and Quinn driver. He has the remaining carton of milk.
Man, if I would have paid, if I was in that parking lot, I would have paid for the guy's milk.
If he said something, or if it was obvious he was,
Yeah.
I see, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would have.
Yeah. That's. Did you hear that? Sorry, we're going off topic here. Did you hear that report? I think it's the latest information from the census.
Okay.
That more than 20% of the island falls under the federal poverty line now.
Yeah. We are. Troy, we're poor.
It's ridiculous.
I fall under that poverty. I'm under that poverty.
I'm po. Most of us are po, and we're being.
I am broke, not broken.
We that's gonna be a 76 leaderboard. I just know it. Did you hear that? 76. We are broke, not broken. That'll be a good one for December 25, 2023. So, where was I going with that? Oh, we're being priced out of our island
We are.
with the price of groceries, the price of rent, the price of housing. I mean, your money, the amount of money that, my goodness, for her house.
Yeah. A mortgage is going to be $3,000.
More for some people.
Yeah, I know, but what job do you have? You know?
Or what kind of savings do you have to afford the 20% or even the 10% down payment to get that house?
Yeah. You know, I was talking to my kids, my two adult children. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe us three, we could get together and buy a home. Because that will be our family home.
Yeah.
But
the finances still don't work out.
I think it will if we just have to really scale back.
For 30 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just, one of them lives off island. So, that's going to take a chunk. That would be, let's say we do get a place, right? And it's $3,000. That's $1,000 for me, $1,000 from, each kid, right?
Yeah.
That's a big chunk.
But it's doable. It's like replacing a small rent payment because rent now is ridiculous.
Yes.
You guys have seen the rent prices. Just go to, I think, GuamRealEstate.com, if I'm not mistaken, and just click on rentals, and you'll see it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And for the types of homes that are being rented out,
for
$2,250, and
the last time it was renovated was in 1990.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know how you're going to rent your place for $2,500.
I mean, if you got a green refrigerator, don't tell me that your place is $2,450.
No, and then some of the landlords are ridiculous. Their rules are dumb.
This is obviously catered to the military market. The amounts that they're putting on, $2,450, $2,205, it's all of them. It's very obvious that this is for that military housing voucher. And that's exactly who they want to rent to. And then everything else that's left, this is the bottom of the barrel kind of stuff, is for the rest of the people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it also includes Section 8. They're also targeting Section 8 because these are consistent sources of income for the landlords.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
It's guaranteed. And the only reason that these landlords are able to price it like that is because they know that the military voucher, the entire voucher is going to go to them. But if the military just resets some of their rules regarding these vouchers, it wouldn't be this way. We wouldn't be priced out of our own island. Anyway.
Rant over,
yeah. Unfortunately, a daughter of Guam has passed away, Carmen De Jesus. This is her death announcement. You can find it on kanditnews.com. You can also find this on our website and on our Facebook and on our Instagram. She was 72 years old when she passed away. Our condolences to her family. And then two men who are sons of the Commonwealth perished in a drowning incident in Oahu. I think it was North Shore. It was reported. I thought I put it in the story.
I know. I read it.
This is Raymond Camacho Tudela on the left and Rupert Babalta on the right. Raymond is the son of one of our longtime viewers, Juanet Camacho. And so Juanet, our condolences to you. Our condolences to both their families. But
so they were they're fishermen.
Okay.
They're fishermen of the sea. They were free diving.
Oh.
And so they didn't make it back to shore. They were taking too long. Firefighters went out and found the dive light. So they followed the line of the dive light, and 150 feet out, they found one of the divers. And then 2.5 hours later, they found the second diver.
Oh man.
Yeah. So they also have a GoFundMe account.
Yes.
If you just, I don't know how to find. I don't know what the name is, but the link is on the USA Today story.
Maybe what we can do is put something together as well.
Okay, we will.
There's also a GoFundMe for Juanet Camacho's family.
And can I also say these two guys, they left behind 6 children together. So 2 from one and 4 from the other one. So, my heart really goes out to their families, their wives and their children.
I forget what their relationship is, but it's there's an
brother-in-laws.
in-law.
Yes, so he's the son of
Juanet Camacho?
Juanet Camacho, but I don't know where Juanet falls. I know, and then that's the son-in-law. So the father of one of the boys, that's the son-in-law. So he's married to the sister. You know, one of them is married to the sister of one of them.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying?
No, not really.
They're brother-in-laws.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so these two are nows.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
best
right.
friends forever. They're like, you know, they've been best friends.
May they rest in peace. And lastly, Senator Jesse Lujan has a public hearing on the 31st. That's this coming Monday. My goodness, July is almost over. And it's on a bill that he sponsored. And the only reason I think that he's having the public hearing is because there's a rule in the legislature that if the committee chair doesn't have a hearing within a certain period of time, the author of the bill gets to have the public hearing, him or herself. This is on Resolution 29, and it calls for Congress to appropriate monies for Guam non-military residents who were exposed to Agent Orange. And I think this is about covering a gap that was left in the PACT Act of 2022. That was the thing that Congressman Mike St. Nicholas championed for Guam to be a part of, so that there would be Agent Orange repaid or reparations, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
For veterans, and so Senator Jesse Lujan wants to include non-military residents who were exposed to Agent Orange.
And President Biden is the best president to get any kind of money people want. He wants to give it. So let's get in there
Oh,
right
is that
now.
a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He wants to give all the money away to the people.
Let's give all the money away. Want to get all of America's money away.
Yes.
Give us all of America's money. And then request the Chinese.
Yep.
All right, we're going to now turn this over to a live session of the CNMI Senate. It's a confirmation hearing for...
compliments.
Honestly, I don't remember. But this afternoon at 1 o'clock is the confirmation hearing for former Governor Juan Babalta to the Commonwealth Healthcare Corporation Board of Trustees. And then at 3 p.m., a confirmation hearing for Bruce Jorgensen to the Commonwealth Sports Authority Board of Directors. We'll bring both of those confirmation hearings to you live. And now let's go over to the CNMI EAGI committee headed by Senator Selena Roberto Babalta.
Financially, how do we retain the correct employee? That's some of the things that I think about, and that's something that I would like to bring up while I'm in the commission.
Thank you for mentioning that in terms of the qualifications of applicants, right? Can you lend us your thoughts? Do you have any ideas for incentives to retain high-performing, highly qualified employees? Because we have some issues. I don't think it's prevalent in our government, but we do have some issues with retaining highly qualified individuals.
I would say that's a very difficult subject because it's really hard to control all the elements involved. One thing that I thought of is providing training. That'll help, make the individual feel that they are valued in the workplace, and that we're putting some kind of a addition to their worth, or their and they would stay longer within the position.
Thank you. Because studies have shown that monetary incentives do not necessarily work. And I think having the education in human resources management, you're probably aware of that. And you're right, it's the value we impart to our employees that's more important than as an incentive as opposed to monetary incentives. So thank you for bringing that up. And besides, we're in severe financial dire straits, as the administration has stated, and I'm not sure if financial incentives to retain employees would be a good idea at this time. One One thing I would like to ask you to take a look into is military leave and maternity leave. And I know the legislature has recently passed legislation to increase maternity leave and also extend it to the fathers, not only the mothers of, newborns. But military leave, I'd like to ask you to look into the federal statutes. And I'm pretty sure the civil service rules and regulations conform to those. And it is important, I think, to look into that and see how we can further support military personnel serving our nation and our Commonwealth here in the Marianas. Because military personnel can be activated for well over a year, and that would present an issue, I think, with against our public personnel service system rules and regulations. So please take a look at that. Also, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Military dependents, including spouses, have a difficult time because some of them hold professional licenses, nurses, attorneys, but they're not allowed to practice in other jurisdictions. And that would be an issue for the Professional Board of Licensing. But if possible, I think the regulations can accommodate, not necessarily transfer their license because that's out of your jurisdiction, but somehow work with the Board of Professional Licensing to accommodate in some small way even, to allow teachers who are certified, nurses, attorneys, of military dependents to be able to teach here or practice nursing. And these are US certified, a lot of them are US certified professionals. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on how you could possibly level the playing field for military dependents.
That's a very touchy subject, difficult to answer right on the spot, but I will do more research and look into it.
I appreciate that. And we understand your limitations in your answers, knowing that you have not attended any meetings yet. So we do appreciate your candidness and letting us know that you at least look into it. The other thing is, I've asked this of other civil service nominees, scholarship nominees. There seems to be, a lot of our scholarship recipients that don't return home. And we don't know the statistics on that. We will be looking into it to try and capture our residents after they have received CNY scholarships, SHEFA scholarships, local scholarships, to try and return home. We need them. We need their expertise, their education. It would provide added value to our government, I think. So I want to ask you, do you have any ideas as to how to capture those graduating college students, recipients of the local scholarships, and create that pipeline so that we can offer them jobs here in our government to return? Aside from the regulations of the local scholarship, which requires them to pay it back if they don't return, I know they do offer, in their regulations and their MOAs, they do offer that for every year they work in the government, there's an offset as to how much they received. Can you lend us your thoughts on what ideas we can come up with to create that pipeline back to the CNMI government so we don't lose out on those investments?
My thoughts are that we really need to work with our scholarship and SHEFA offices, especially for the highly skilled trades like engineers. I've seen in the paper we have a local student that just graduated engineering degree. That's a person that we really need to bring back home. Just getting that relationship started so we can start identifying the students in all areas, but especially the highly skilled areas.
Thank you. I do know that the Office of Personnel Management puts it on their website, the vacancies. They also, I've seen in the past, issue vacancies, and it's posted in a lot of the government offices, but I think more can be done. Also, I want to have you think about the Department of Labor and work with them how to capture graduating students, because I really feel we need educated individuals to come back to our government and help our government with their skills.
Madam Chair,
Recognize Senator Paul.
just kind of a follow-up, not directly related to commission, but I noticed one of your job experience way back under Work Enforcement Agency, Michelle, you used to recruit for the Hawaii Job Corps.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, is that program still very active today here? Are we
heard it's still
recruiting?
I'm not sure if they're still doing recruitment, but it's still active.
Oh, but that's a very valuable program, right? I mean, before I remember we sent a couple every year, and we notice those people those students that come back, they actually find meaningful jobs, and they move on, right? And they're very successful. So I'm not sure that this still continues today, but this is sort of like NMT. It's just that you bring them to Hawaii and they really get their hands on and experience. And I'm not sure whether, are you aware?
I'm not aware, but actually I have one person that I helped recruit to Hawaii Job Corps. She's here today, and she's back contributing to our.
Yeah, because I remember, before. So something we need to look into again. Maybe start sending. And this, by the way, have financial assistance, right, to the federal government and federal financial assistance.
I believe so, yes. I'll take the time to look into it and see if it's still active.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have any further questions. Like I said, we know the limitations of the nominees that come before the committee, having not attended any of the board meetings or commission meetings. If there are no other questions from the members or issues they want to bring up, I recognize Senator Donald Winglonia.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just going back to one of the statement the chair had made in regards to employee retention, and going back to what I mentioned regarding professional development opportunities, I think we have to start looking at the possibility of maybe requiring employees to take certain professional development courses in order to achieve a certain pay rate. It works effectively with PSS. As a former teacher, the only way to reach a certain level of pay scale was to continue your education or take several hours of professional development courses in order to meet, because year after year, we have the WGI is of a concern, right? The WGI, sometimes, or one fiscal year we may have the money for it, other fiscal years we don't. But if employees go out and take the initiative to grow themselves professionally, then maybe that could be the avenue to try to get the higher salary in the event WGI is not available. And so that kind of pushes our employees to grow again professionally, but also, maybe motivates them to want to try to do better to assist the agencies they serve. And so maybe that's one route that we can kind of look into, further investigate, trying to achieve a higher paying salary, and kind of maybe bypassing, and I hate to say this, but bypassing the WGI system, but also try, rather than have employees just wait for the next WGI, they can try to do something currently and trying to better themselves in the end. And so that's all I wanted to bring up, since the chair had brought it up. And so thank you again for that. I yield at this time, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator Donald. Senator Paul, do you have any questions for the second round? Okay. Thank you for coming before the committee, Ms. Joab. Certainly your education and professional experiences are compliments to serve as a member of the Civil Service Commission, and we have no issues with your professional standing or your educational standing at this point, and it would be a privilege to recommend your confirmation to the full Senate body. Thank you. You are dismissed.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on with the next item on the agenda, or no, yeah, miscellaneous. We can do it again. Nothing? There are no objections. This meeting is hereby in recess. It is now 11:05 a.m.
You have a great website. Let's make sure people see it. GoDaddy hosting is fast, secure, and always online. Get the help you need with our expert support available at any time. Trust your site to GoDaddy, the world's #1 web host. Learn more at godaddy.com.
The game is there's so much that's been put out there, you're just